Hey guys, what's up and welcome to today's video. For those of you who are already subscribed, already my people, already part of the family, welcome back. And to those of you who are new and are not yet subscribed, welcome. My name is Tyler with an O, and thank you for joining me for today's video. So let's just get right into it. Let's get down to business. Category is pose, 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 pose. Okay, this show, Pose on Fox, is it FX or is it on Fox? Nonetheless, Pose tens across the board. And I'm gonna tell you why, because we're gonna get into it and we're gonna break it down. But can I just say, now I've been seeing like, you know, the promo for it or whatever on Instagram, and like people are posting it, talking about how much they like it. And I know I'm late to the party, and today, I don't know why, but today I woke up early, I couldn't go back to sleep, so I was like, okay, let me find something to watch. Anyways, it don't even matter. I ended up watching the pilot, then I watched episode 2, I think it's called Access or something, and I got my life. Like, I got my life. I'm a fan. I am a fan. Like, let me tell you. Can we start with episode 1? The beginning. The opening scene when Abundance visited the museum. Let me tell you. So like at first when I'm watching it, because obviously you know this like the first impression, whatever. So I'm watching the whole museum thing. When they were like, oh, we got hide, like the museum's closing in 5 minutes. I was like, okay, bitch, it ain't that easy. They waited 2 seconds, you know, whatever. So I was already just like, what is this show gonna give? And then the bitch, they stole their things, pumped it on down to the ball. And then when they were walking, royalty, I lived, but not even the walk, bitch, the exits. Okay, the exit. That's how you put on a show. Mama. Five busts in the door, and Miss Naomi Campbell Fish, what's her name, Electra, girl, she looked at him, she said, bitch, I died, and they cuffed him and escorted them out of the ball. Like, bitch, I went up. Like, I was like, okay, this is what she's giving. I'm here already. Like, my butt is in the chair, I'm glued, I have my ticket, I have my popcorn, I have my Sprite. Anyway, so yeah, opening scene, bomb. Right off the beginning, I was kind of like wondering about this whole relationship between Electra and Blanca, because I was just like, okay, for her to be part of the family, part of the legendary house, you are shading her so much, mama. Like, I didn't understand that, but I mean, it definitely made sense for what had transpired throughout the episodes. But honey, when Blanca started her own house and decided she was gonna come for Miss Naomi Campbell Fish, I need to stop calling her that. Electra, I thought it was real out of line, and that's one thing I will give this show. The reads on the show, I feel like they don't hold back on each other. Like, it's not like, oh, like friendly competition, like it's like, no, bitch, like I'm reading you. But the thing is, like, it seems like in our society today, everything becomes like fighting words. Like, oh, those are fighting words. Like, no, there's a way to read one another that almost comes across as constructive criticism, and it's just like me being a real ass bitch and telling you exactly how it is. And so when Blanca decided that she was gonna get up and form her own house, and Electra gave her that nasty read, bitch. Like, she basically told her, like, girl, you ain't shit, you ain't never gonna be shit. I raised you, I birthed you, girl. I am passable, but bitch, I clocked you from a mile away. And I thought that was important because that's, I mean, obviously I'm not trans, but that is something that I have witnessed, and I feel like to the outside world people don't understand, is the discrimination and the segregation within the LGBTQIA+ community. It exists, it's real, and it's unfortunate because when you're in a sector of society that is already so shunned and discriminated against and, you know, segregated in its own from society as a whole, you would think that everybody would want to stick together. And I'm sure this isn't an issue that's exclusive to the gay community, because this is something that I see in the black community. This is something that I see, you know, like, it's just, it is what it is. But I thought it was important that this show, especially early on in the episode, shined light to that. But yeah, there is that hierarchy, and they touched on that, where basically, like, you're trans, so you're low-key at the bottom, sad to say, but that's just the tea. But not only that, between the trans, there's passable and there's not, then there's clockable. I can pass, you cannot, honey girl, so you're below me. And that was kind of like a reoccurring theme through the 2 episodes, was like the whole thing of hierarchy with the white man and Angel. You ain't shit to him, like, they all need somebody to feel superior over. And unfortunately, mama, you are trans and he is a white male. If anything, he's at the top. Okay, so like that kind of puts that conflict or that type of thought into Angel's head, where it's just like, does he like me? And then she fucked around and caught feelings, which I thought was odd. especially as a sex worker, I would just assume that if this is your profession, then you encounter Johns on the day to day, and you train yourself not to catch feelings, whole. And I understand this was definitely a different encounter. Not everybody's gonna pay you and compensate you for your time to just sit there, lay next to each other side by side, and talk about your dreams and your ambitions. It was sweet as fuck. Like, don't get me wrong, like, that was so sweet. But the fact that, like, she caught feelings and then showed up at his job and all this other shit and thought he was about to sweep her off her feet and into Calabasas, girl, like, no, honey, I'm sorry. No. But we'll get into that, because I could be wrong. But yeah, going back to the whole hierarchy thing, and then that's what, Mother Bianca told Damon when they were sitting in a little Denny's or a little restaurant, a little diner or whatever, having breakfast or whatever. She had told him, like, honey, you trying to sit here and talk about, like, oh, our dreams aren't the same, yada yada yada, your dreams are better than mine. At the end of the day, you're black and you're gay, so where are you on the totem pole? Maybe a notch above me, bitch, but you know what I'm saying, like, birds of a feather, so we might as well flock together. Like, it is what it is. But bringing up Damon, I love Damon. Like, I love Damon. The scene where he got kicked out by his parents, like, there were multiple times through these 2 episodes when a real one, I shed a tear. Like, my eyes watered up, and I was just like, oh my God. And part of it was pity. Part of it was like, I felt bad for him. But part of it was almost like a relatability sense, and I like that. I'm happy. I mean, Damon's handsome, don't get me wrong, but I'm happy that they casted, the main character, the person of interest, as someone who's not this, like, he can make it easily in society type of role. He ain't Bub, he ain't supermodel of the world, he's nerdy, he's dorky, he doesn't fit in society as a whole, especially being gay. But I'm just saying, like, I'm happy that they casted the main person as not the expected, he's the main person and we're gonna watch his glow up as it would be handed to him for his attraction or his talent. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, when he got kicked out, I felt so bad, especially when Mom came out and she was just like, you bring this filth into my house, like, what are you gonna do? And he was just like, Mother, I'm just kidding. He was like, Mom, I'm gay, girl. And she was like, bitch, take your book bag, take your fucking coat, hit the pavement, like, you're out of here. And I was just like, oh, and it's just that, even the acting in that scene, when he just had that, like, hesitation, and you saw all the nosy white people in the background, like, looking like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, oh my God, Barbara, oh my God, bring the kids inside, like, we don't know what's gonna happen. Barbecue Sandy over there on the phone, like, disruption, disturbing the peace. But yeah, that's that moment of hesitation when he was just, like, holding his shit, and he was just, like, sitting there looking at the house, like, and you could tell, like, in his mind, he was just like, what should I do? Like, should I conform? Or is this, like, really them pushing me out of the nest? Like, I have to go. And he was just looking hopeless, like, I didn't have nowhere to go. And I felt so bad for him. But going into his storyline, I think, like, he's a character that everybody can love, relate, and respect. So far, shown as, like, an innocent figure. So there's nothing that anybody really can have against him. And I think that's smart. Especially with that whole, like, Star on the Rise storyline. Because we see that. It's repeated in a lot of the shows we watch today. Empire, Star on the Rise. Star on the Rise. Hell, anything on Disney Channel, it has to do with, like, a star on the rise, like a main character who just wants to succeed and wants to be the best. I don't know, but when I tell you I'm rooting for, okay, so talking about Damon, the scene when they were sitting on the steps or whatever, after Bianca gagged the girls and snatched the trophy from Miss Electra, which, by the way, I don't even know why they were too much shocked, because when Pray Tell had read her or whatever on the mic, talking about, like, bitch, your fashions, or not, he didn't read her, I'm sorry, the judge, he was just like, are you, like, she was like, I demand an explanation, and he was just like, bitch, your fashions, like, who are you wearing? Right, and it was just like, I don't even know why she was surprised, because she came out there walking her category looking like a blue coffee filter, girl. Excuse me? Like, when Bianca came out looking like the Pink Panther girl, the pink puss, in this, like, the gown, the headpiece, the make, like, she served it, and that was well earned. She was like, I was robbed. Girl, you were not. Anyways, back to scene where Damon's on the steps, and then Ricky approaches. Ricky's the cute little chocolate boy, with the haircut, whatever. He approached, and, like, at first I was just like, oh, okay, like, he cute, whatever. And then, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not even gonna go, like, the play-by-play. Although, when he took up to the little, I don't even know what you want to call that. It wasn't like a warehouse. I know it was on a pier, so it was like little dock. I don't know if that's like, I don't know what it was, but the empty fucking dark place, and then Damon was following him in there, and I was just like, oh my god, like, Damon, don't go in there. Like, at first I was like, oh, this is gonna be one of them shady shows, because Elektra knows that Damon is Evangelista's secret weapon, so she paid Ricky to take Damon, and they gonna go and jump him or do something. Like, I was afraid of her. I was like, oh girl, don't go in there, don't go in there. But anyways, fast forward to that, because that hasn't really too much flourished. However, I will say, with Damon have so much going for him that he does, it's kind of odd to me that it just happens that, like, Ricky, okay, the first boy that showed you attention, now you like off the jump, oh my god, I love him, like, no, please don't leave it. Especially, like, you know how he was talking to what's her name, Nighttime, Midnight, Korean Fish, the trans girl that Damon had walked up to, and he was talking to her at the beach or whatever, and I was just like, now, if I was Damon, and it's no shade, this is not trans bashing, this is nothing, it's simply based off of looks. I understand that we're in two different categories, but when I approach and you talking to Night Moth over here looking like a book of wolf in the face, I would have just, I'd have been like, oh, so that's how you get down. Like, you like the ugly girls. Like, you had all of this. Like Jocelyn said, was it Jocelyn? And she was like, who you gonna go from? From me to who? Anyway, I would have dropped it at that, because again, like, no shade, but girl, you're about to be a star. I mean, you don't see it yet, but you have potential. You're cute. This is only the first boy who showed you any type of love, or the first boy that you even given attention to. So you should have definitely kept it pushing, but you wanted to bring him to the ballet or whatever. You know, it's cute. I'm not understanding why Ricky doesn't join the house, because I feel like just as easy as I thought it was for old Spanish boy to walk up outside the club or whatever, talk about like, oh, you know, what's it take to join the house? I want to join the house because y'all ain't shit and I ain't shit either. I don't understand why Ricky has this mentality like, oh, nobody wants me. Like, no, the house, that's the whole point. But with that being said, that is another thing that I like really love. I am a little familiar with houses. I'm from the West Coast, and I know like the ballroom and everything. Like, for example, this takes place in New York, and I know it's big in Philly, and I know it's big in maybe in Georgia or in DC, or you know, like places over there. But where I'm from, we don't have balls. We don't have the ballroom scene. We don't have houses that are like big like that. Like, it's just not a well-known culture over here. So the bit that we do know and the bit that we do observe and we see from what we know isn't exactly closely related to the origin, if I'm making sense. Anyways, all that to say, I like that they're showing, like, they're emphasizing that whole structure of the house as like, I'm creating this house to house these children who are outcasts of society, who don't fit in anywhere. These balls are a time for us to embrace and become the things that society won't allow us to be. If I want to be corporate, if I want to be trade, if I want to be fish, like if I want to be a weather girl, like girl, like it's just fantasy. But at the same time, it's so reality, and that's where the house comes into play. I feel like the ball is the fantasy of it all, and the house is back down to earth. At the end of the day, you don't have any place to go. You need clothes on your back, a roof over your head, and food in your tum-tum, girl. So I just love that, like, they're really emphasizing that these houses aren't just like a little close group of friends. It's not a clique. It's a family. It's a structure. It's a support system. And they really look out for each other. And I feel like Blanca Evangelista is a saint, and I feel like what's really gonna turn this series up a notch is if they remove Blanca Evangelista from this sainthood and she stops being like this do-gooder for all, and she really has to like stoop down and get into some, like, you know, some hood ass compromising situations to do what she got to do for her children. Now I think that will be the gag, and that's what's gonna sell people. I think they're trying to make everybody like her, which they should, by being good, but I feel like there should be an opportunity where she got to do bad, where, so, you know, she needs to make bail for Damon, and she gonna have to go down there with Angel and bust it open, you know, on the sidewalk, or she might have to kill a bitch, like somebody try to rob her or some shit like that, and she ends up being a murderer. You know, and something like that where it's just like doing bad for a good cause. Like, I feel like that's where her storyline needs to go. And it is so sad that she is diagnosed early on, and she was saying like, you know, it is a death sentence, da, 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 da. I feel like it's odd that she's not telling her kids, because they need to know that they're doing this for a legacy, that you're trying to leave a legacy behind, and that should give them more incentive to, you know, get their tens, essentially. But I respect her decision not to say anything, and I definitely know that that's like, you know, soon to come. Not even soon to come, but it will happen down the line, because something's gonna happen with her health. She's gonna start to get deteriorating or something. They're gonna be wondering what's wrong. She's gonna be like, okay girls, like, family meeting, let me just tell you what it is. I have HIV, like, it's now AIDS. Like, I don't know where it's gonna go, but so there's that. Wow, I didn't think that I had so much to talk about. Oh, but while we're on the topic of Blanca, that scene when she went into the dance school and she talked to Miss Head of Dance, Dean, girl, and she basically got her together and was just like, no, my baby is gonna audition. Let me tell you about some pain, girl. And she was just like, have a seat. And she heard her out and she got that audition. And when Damien went in there and he turned it to that Whitney, now I will say, just from a viewer's perspective, I was confused to what I was watching, because I was just like, I don't understand. Is this supposed to be him turning it? Like, is he killing it? Or is this them watching confused because he's just flailing around and looking crazy? I appreciate dance in all forms, but it did look a little sloppy. I do wish they maybe would have brought in a better choreographer or just had a sickening piece to where as a viewer, I would be watching that and he would have snatched my wig from the fucking front row. Like, I was a little confused, but the only reason I knew what was going on is because the life that was being lived by Miss Head of Dance. When she was sitting there and she was gagging and she was just like, yes honey, and she was cheering him on and everything. And then the two white judges or whoever, authority executives, whatever, was just sitting there like, oh my god, like, oh my god, oh he's bumping, oh he touched me, oh my tie, like. And then black girl was just like, girl, y'all can't take. And so I was just like, okay, so he must be doing good, I guess. And then when he came outside and he told Sister Blanca, he was just like, girl, if it wasn't for you, I would have, like, one more night and I would have went off with who knows who and did who knows what to make a little change. And I probably wouldn't be alive tomorrow. So thank you. By the way, I got in. Like, I cried. That was the moment that I cried, because it was just like, he deserved it. He deserved it. He was so liberated and set free in that audition. He was given that opportunity by somebody who already wasn't given an opportunity. Like, it was too much. It was just too much, and I lived. I love that. Final thing I want to talk about, because I feel like her story is so, I don't want to say good, but it's just so, the tea is just so hot, and I feel like this is the tea that needs to be sipped by society, because this is what they're not understanding and this is what they're not getting in any other show. Miss Angel Evangelista. Angel and Stan, I think their story is so interesting. Now, this story isn't something that's new to me. I know people in similar situations, or I've heard of this before, but I feel like this is something that is so hidden and something that is so unknown to the general public that I'm so happy that this is being highlighted on this show. The fact that they are struggling, I mean, yes, he's made it. Him and wifey, you know, they've made it. He's a wasp. He is a successful wasp. And he's doing the thing on Wall Street or whatever they work. But the fact that he's struggling, you know, bills are behind, his wife is getting needy, homegirl wants a dishwasher, and he is still willing to take food off of their table for the well-being of this trans woman, Angel, that he barely knows. He barely knows her, Miss Girl. He accepts her for who she is. He accepts her for what she does. And he told her straight up, like, I'm jealous. I get jealous. I don't like these men looking at you. I don't like these men touching you. And we gonna get into the monologue. The monologue, girl, when they went to the diner on her lunch break. Shit, took me out. Okay, took me out. No, but that's one. Number two, y'all wanna act like these cis men, these cisgender, especially white men, aren't here for the girls. Honey, where do you think, I mean, and I'm not trying to shade the girls, because I know the girls are, you know, self-sufficient and they are entrepreneurs and this, that, and the fourth, but where do you think a lot of the coin and a lot of the funding, a lot of the sponsorship, a lot of these fashions are coming from, honey? Who do you think, when these girls don't have rent to pay, but their rent is being paid, who do you think is doing it? Miss Girl? Like, the society just tries to make it seem like the white men are not here for the gays, the white men are not here for the trans, the white men are not here for the colored girls, when on the outside that's what they project, that's what they want to give off, but in the closet, on the DL, in the hotel, girl, So I'm happy that they're highlighting that relationship. I think it is a little bit hazardous to Angel, and I like that Angel was about her shit and she was just like, no honey, you're gonna give me a year lease. Because you're not about to, you know, fuck me over, get tired of me, and then ditch out and run out on a bill and know that I ain't got shit and I can't afford it. Now I'm gonna be evicted and my credit gonna be fucked up. Okay, you're gonna secure this homestead for at least a year. No shade, but if I was her, I know it might be violation of her and him, his little, you know, social contract or whatever. But no shade, if I ain't got no bills to pay now at this point, honey, I still be out there working. It is what it is. That's money that now I can stack up and save because I ain't got nothing to pay. But I wonder how that's gonna go over with Mother, because I know Blanca probably ain't gonna be going for that. Like, what do you mean you not living in the house? It's a snowball effect. First you're gonna say that, oh, I'm moving out and I'm getting my own place and it's paid for by this man. Then you're gonna wanna be doing him favors. Then you're not gonna be available on Saturday nights to walk in these balls, girl. We still are on the rise. You know, full steam ahead. Like, I feel like there's gonna be some conflict with that. But I am happy for old girl, and I'm also happy for Stan. And I feel like in this series there is going to be some type of turning point where he's going to have to ditch the wife. And he's going to have to live in his truth and walk in his truth and realize that although I may not be gay and I'm not sexually attracted to men, I'm also over my wife. Like, I'm over that whole fantasy and I am infatuated. Oh, let's get into it since we're here. We've arrived. This monologue when he basically told her, when they were like talking and she was just like, like, you know, yeah, I know. And she was like joking, trying to play hard to get or whatever. And then she was just like, but wait a minute. You see me as a real woman? And he broke it down. He was just like, bitch, look at me. Look at me. And I want you to hear me when I say this. I am the one who is playing the role. I dress up and put on my $50,000 suits every day, my Rolex, and hop in my Cadillac and drive it on down to the job to play a role that they want me to play. I have to live by a certain standard and I have to present myself in a certain way. I am a charade. My wife is a beard, bitch. Like, I'm not even too much into her. I don't give a fuck if I have a dishwasher or not. I'm living a fantasy. I'm living a fairy tale. I am living a life that is not who I am. And you are everything opposite of me. You are walking in your truth. You are putting on the clothes that you feel comfortable in. The clothes that you're wearing because you want to, not because you have to. You're not out here living a dream. You're living your reality. And although everybody else might see it as you chasing a dream or as you living a fantasy or thinking you're one thing in your head or charading around the town in costume or whatever the case they want to say it is, you are the one who is real. And I'm the one who's fake. Bitch. When I tell you, I can't, like that, I can't. That was magnificent. That just such growth, such realization. The fact that he was even able to vocalize and put that into words and articulate it on the second episode, I'm hopeful. I'm just so hopeful. I love this show. I love the show. All that to say. And I know this video is probably going to be long as fuck. But that is because I did touch on 2 episodes. What I do want to do is start talking about these episodes as they come. Like doing a weekly recap of these episodes. Because you see it has moved me to such speech. Okay? But nonetheless, I hope you guys are definitely tuning in to Pose. 10s across the board. Honestly, truly. I love the show. Hopefully you guys like it. Comment down below. Let me know if you guys are tuning in, if you like it, what you dislike about it, if you have any, you know, relation to the storyline or the characters. Who's your favorite character? Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it or if you like the show or if you like me, if you like my makeup, you know, whatever. More importantly, go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any more of this Tyler with the No goodness. And I will catch you all on my next video. Peace. Face, darling, face. I'm serving pretty boy realness. I'm just kidding. I don't even know the categories. I wish we had a ball here. I would walk. I wonder what category I would walk. I want to join a house and walk a category because I know I'd be snagging trophies. Ain't no way.